Hello and welcome to the NextPowerUp review of Warhammer 40k Regicide. This is a game by Hammerfall Publishing, and it's one of the many creations of the recent IP handouts that Games Workshop have been doing with their Warhammer IP. This one is still in early access, however, the game is actually releasing on the 26th, I think, so not too far away, just under a week now. This is very, very similar to chess, but there are a lot more complex parts around it. There is a multiplayer, which is probably the primary reason for playing it in the long run. But for now, I'm just running campaign skirmishes just to get my head around things. To start off, we'll take a look at the old video options. Annoyingly enough, there isn't any native 4K support, but you can fudge 4K a number of ways. According to the Steam discussions, they reckon that as of one of the patches, 4K would have been introduced, except I can't seem to find that option anywhere, so hopefully on full release 4K will be an option in there. You obviously have windowed and full screen mode and all your resolution options. It does go up to 1600p right now. There is an enable VSync option, which is annoying because when you turn it off, the game is still limited to 60 FPS, so you may as well just turn VSync on unless you're finding that the input lag is too much, but it really doesn't matter for this type of game. We have your general quality settings all the way down, anti-aliasing, shadows, ambient occlusion, depth of field. I love it when games add ambient occlusion and depth of field. It's such a... they're key features for graphical options in games, and so many people just ignore them entirely. And high quality models in game, the models look very good. The sort of outer areas of the matches, which I'll show you one in a second, aren't that great. There's one particular match where there's a tree that appears to be behind the camera, and when you rotate the battlefield, the tree just gets in the way, and it's pretty low poly, so that's incredibly irritating, rather. And that's it from the video section. You can log in and you gain XP. You get XP from doing both skirmishes, multiplayer and campaign. The training was very brief, very simple, didn't really teach me a whole lot, and I was a little bit irritated, to be perfectly honest. Another thing which I find highly irritating is this really slow loading. So eventually the captain will... there we go. And supposedly the purpose of the armory is to unlock new abilities and things like that, but nothing has happened. I haven't unlocked anything at all. I haven't unlocked any new units. I haven't unlocked any new abilities for those units. The fact that I can choose these guys is irrelevant for the campaign anyway. Campaign is all being played as Blood Angels against your standard Orc Goths. There's currently only two groups of Orcs. Now, I'm a big fan of the Warhammer universe, but I have to say I'm getting pretty tired of the fact that every single company that's doing a Warhammer game just goes, oh, Space Marines and Orcs. There are a lot of races, a lot of races, even if you didn't just follow the Blood Angels, like, there are so many different excellent chapters of Space Marines and the Ultramarines and the Space Wolves, everything. There's so many to choose from, and the Space Marine and Orc thing is just kind of getting a bit boring, to be quite honest. And that's one of the many reasons I like the new Dawn of War Retribution, because you could complete the campaign with so many different races. Although, to be fair, my most favourite Warhammer game is still the original Dark Crusade and Soulstorm, because I got to play Tau. The things you can unlock are these ability section areas, basically for each team. Any of them that say 0, you just can't unlock them. But any that are locked and say 100, and there's none right here. Oh. And you say that... ah. Oh wait, no. Now you see, I think if it says 0 next to 100, it means that you haven't unlocked it. And you can unlock it by spending points. I only have 10, but that costs 100 to unlock. These ones, doesn't seem to say how or when you unlock these. I assume it's part of the early access thing, and that you simply just don't have half of these skills, which is annoying considering that the game is only a week away from release. The game is primarily largely done, to be perfectly honest. It's just they seem to be adding last bits. Anyway, let's jump straight into a campaign mission. I've been doing loads of these. The campaigns, there are 10 so far. In Act 1, there are going to be future acts, supposedly. And basically each one has a primary objective and a secondary objective. Secondary objectives are either ridiculously easy or surprisingly difficult. The this one, that one was... Is that the one? No. That one was difficult. You have to boost over your assault marines, which move like knights, hence their representation as knights. And they can jump over units into that area, except they're so squishy. In fact, they're the most infuriating class in the game. I can't stand them. Literally cannot stand them. And you can check out what units you've got for this mission. So we will jump into this mission. Kill all storm boys and looters, which means I can ignore the shooter boys. However, they will be there. Purely for irritation purposes, I think. Capture, not kill, or looters. This must mean I'm finally getting the queen. Yes, the queen. Now, how do I capture orc looters? We'll find out, I suppose. Also, the game's volume, you probably saw earlier, is on 4%, and it's already just stupidly loud. And of course, you've got this introductory transmission.
That orc, did he just teleport away?
Teleporter.
Yes, Commander. And worse than that. That is an orc weird boy. They possess strong, if undisciplined, psychic powers. It is likely he is the source of the disturbance I sensed earlier. In that case, he must be nearby. Forward!
See, this does have a brief storyline, and the storyline is relatively uninteresting, but it gives you a reason to play the campaign, and the campaign is actually surprisingly well laid out. So, you can rotate with... Ah, there we go. There's the tree in the middle of nowhere, which is really quite irritating. But you can move all the way around here. So, yeah. You've obviously got your standard units, which are your pawns that can move 1 or 2, or... I'm just going to turn this down, because that's starting to irritate the hell out of me. We'll just turn them all down to the music volume. It's the UI volume that's getting here in my ears. So, standard pawns can move 1 space ahead. These guys are devastators with the big chain guns. They move crossways like bishops. These guys can jump in L shapes like the knights. And this is your queen that can move infinitely and do stupid stuff. You also have... I forget what this is called. Basically, your first move in the game has to be to move a unit forward. So what we'll do is we'll move this guy forward because he's further away. After your movement stage, you then have your initiative phase, and these are initiative points. Initiative points are used by using any ability. So you've got your shoot, why it's called snapshot, I don't know. You've got melee. You've got go to ground, which is similar to XCOM in that you can just hunker down and gain a small defensive bonus. These guys have got grenades. These guys have those crack grenades. I think they're called crack grenades that lower armor. And a melee skill which supposedly does more damage than a normal melee skill, provided you have moved with the unit that turn. You also have your main like abilities of the Emperor. This one will pin down a unit. Now, units that have been pinned will not be able to attack after the movement phase, which is very, very important, very useful. This is primarily the baseline of chess, and then 5 times more complicated strategy on top of it. And you've got all these various abilities that include shields and healing and bolstering armor and stuff like that. Units have they have wounds, which means they can take so many wounds. Which is just damage, essentially health. They've got armor, which will define how much damage they'll reduce that's incoming. Toughness, None of these are explained ever, so I don't really know what that does. Weapon skill is your chance to hit a unit, so if I click on this, you'll have your percentage bar here. And strength is how much damage your weapon does, I believe. So, what we will do is... he can't attack anyone. We might do a grenade, I think. Yeah, we'll do a grenade to get those guys down. I'm interested in this capture. I wonder how you capture. Oh, capturing is, of course. When it said capture, I thought it meant take over them. But yes, in this game you can either murder things from a distance, or during the movement phase, depending on how many squares away your unit is, your unit can capture that spot, and that means you instantly kill them, regardless. Just nothing can stop it. You have this guy, let's say, because he's a pawn. If he was here, during the movement phase, I could then tell him to move here, and it would capture that spot and instantly kill the orc. Hopefully, I'll have a chance to show you in a second, but for now, we'll grenade these guys. As you can see, cover is part of the board and tends to get in the way, and you can use it strategically. Who do we want to shoot with? He can't shoot. He can. 64. He can't shoot. He can. 64. He can't do anything. He can't do anything. So yeah, we'll just shoot this guy. Yeah, and like XCOM, you sometimes have the infuriating chance of missing, which is really annoying. And obviously certain units can only attack in certain formations. So, for example, this guy who got shot because he missed him. This guy can attack in diagonals through so many squares away, and also the immediate area around him as well. So who shall we move? We'll move him here, because then he can immediately capture this guy. You still can't attack anyone because you're useless. Alright, we'll melee this guy. Surprisingly enough, I think my favourite units in this game are the pawns, because not anymore. Because these guys, even though the fact they have chainswords, the only time they use their chainswords, regardless of whether you tell them to do melee attacks or not, they don't use their chainswords ever unless they're capturing a square. They just shoot things point blank, and they use these crappy little pistols that just sound like pea shooters. So, like, 80% of the weapons in the game, like that laser beam, death gun or whatever the hell it's called, feel pretty damn, you know, potent, but don't know where to move him. I'll move him here. But yeah, a lot of the weapons have a lot of punch, particularly when capturing. It's just that there are a few bits here and there that really aren't punchy, which is probably one of the main reasons why this, I'd say overall impressions so far are, if you like strategic games, heavily strategic games, we're not talking like Supreme Commander or anything like that. They're all stunned. What can I use? What can I use? What can I use? Oh, you can do something. Oh, you can shoot him. You need to, yeah, you need to like chess style stuff a lot, I think, in order to enjoy this. But if you do like that sort of stuff, I am pleasantly surprised at how good it is. I'd say my only qualms with the game are lack of explanation about anything at all, and just the fact that a couple of units lack punchiness. Lack punchiness and just, I don't know. Not enough variation, I don't feel. Not enough different types of units. What shall I do with you? Yeah, screw it, why not? Use the queen. What can you do? Shoot things? Yeah, shoot him. Yeah, see, stuff like that. Even if it did hit, it would have been a little bit underwhelming, to say the least. I'd say the key crime about this game is that unless you're capturing a square, everything feels very shallow and light. But when you capture a square with a unit, like I'm gonna do with this guy now, to show you how awesome it looks, that is what Warhammer 40k is all about. Yeah, whatever. Come on, let me murder him. Here we go. See? Blood, explosions, devastation. Oh, you can press space to skip, which is what I just accidentally did there. Right, let's use Life Leech on this guy, because you need some health. Look at this, pea shooter. Didn't even hit. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. Can't stand that. It is everything that is wrong with this game about Space Marines. Space Marines are big hulking titans that boom, boom, boom. If you ever watched the animated Space Marine film, Ultramarines, that's the one. Even that got it right. It wasn't a very good film, but at least they knew that it was all about heavy denseness with Space Marines. But this game, it's like it knew what it should have should strive to be like, and then just completely ignored it and just went, we'll just do this instead, and it's just, meh. Very disappointing. Yeah, I'll do that. Zap. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a shield power on this guy. That means that the first bit of damage he is dealt by anything, unless it's a capture, he will resist it. You are rubbish. You are also rubbish. So what I will do to attempt to prevent anyone from shooting me next turn... Oh. That's a capture from the enemy, and that is also my fail condition. So, like I said, the shield doesn't prevent a capture, and that was my main issue. Damn. Anyway, I'll show you something a little bit more interesting. See, that one was hard. I don't know how I succeeded last time, but it was hard, as was that one. You know what, screw it, we'll try again. Campaign missions typically, provided you don't accidentally get your guy captured, which is just stupid. They usually only take about 10 minutes. That UI noise is still really loud. Whatever, I don't care. Okay. Let's get you in position for some death. Skip that. Right. Who can you shoot? This guy. You see, Devastators. Big old chain guns, and that's it. That's all they do. They literally shoot 3 times, except it lacks punch. And it's annoying because Space Marines are big. Like, even these guns sound better than the Devastators, which is inherently wrong. That's not what it's supposed to be like. And that's... I hope they change it in the final release of the game, because if they had successfully managed to get the punch behind this would be... I wouldn't be able to complain about this game. The only thing bad I would be able to say about this game is the zero tutorial and the obsessive use of Space Marines and Orcs. I'll dump you there. Then he can jump over and instantly murder this guy with the death gun, because the death gun is problematic. It can one-shot some of my units, and I don't want that to happen. Let us destroy you so that they may proceed. It's like a tickle cannon. It makes me so angry. Grenade! Yeah! And the other problem is lore-wise. Space Marines are enormous titans, you know, space monk Nazis. And their whole purpose is to destroy things in few numbers, because, you know, one Space Marine can take on 100 or so Orcs, and the Orcs are inherently crap at everything they do. The only reason they can do stuff is because they're in great numbers. And so far there's only been one map that's actually managed to do that. So while this game is certainly good as a game, it seems to be forgetting, you know, the origins of Warhammer and what it's actually like. I might use this just to prevent too many of my units getting damaged next turn. And it only worked on 2, but whatever, that's good enough for me. Those guys with the jetpacks are problematic. And so are those guys with death rays. I wonder if he's going to one-shot my unit. Damn. See, he's got a blade sword, and he attacked him point blank. Why use your blade sword when you can... Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Death. See, that is what I want to see on every single turn. But, you know, he's got a pathetic little pistol. Right, now what I need to do is... He's dead, basically. He's literally dead. That was silly. Suppose I better try and kill him, because he's a pawn, so he'll capture diagonally. Not good. Ah, can I suppress? Oh, damn, no, I can't. Yeah, so basically my assault guy's dead, so I may as well just sacrifice him. See if I can deal slightly more than 0 damage to him. Kill him, go on. The one advantage to the point blank attacks is that they can't miss. Right, so he's dead. Wait, he didn't move his pawn in the movement phase. Oh, Quid's in. That means he's dead with the assault marine. Awesome. This means I might actually get the bonus objective too. Now you see, most of those animations are usually the same each time, but there are some variations. There are a few different animations here and there. Let's just saw you to death. Oh no, we won't saw, because point blank range. Why use a saw blade? Why not use a pistol? Makes me so angry. Right, shoot him. If you miss. Right, so this guy's going to use his death gun or whatever the hell it's called. You can, of course, see move histories here. See everything that's happened throughout the game, which is kind of nice, I suppose. Oh dear. Am I dead? How did I survive? Oh, there we go. Only just. Right, so what can I do with him? I don't want to move my Devastator. I'll move my Devastator. I haven't actually used my librarian much, which I guess is a partial crime. Because you can't... No, you can't reach anywhere, whatever. Right, so what we'll do is we will suppressing fire this guy so he can't attack next turn. We will then murder him. Please. That's another thing I feel like this game is missing. When you know you've killed a unit, well, when you are attacking units on low health, you don't actually know whether you've killed it or not, whether you've dealt enough damage. Because what happens is it plays the shooting and attack animation, and then a split second later, after the animation's finished, he'll either just stand there and nothing will happen, or he'll just fall over as if a gust of wind has just sort of knocked him over. What needs to happen is they need to make an animation so that if you have actually killed them with the damage that turn, you know, they fall over or something. It's the little things. It's the little things. Gameplay-wise, they're missing nothing, but, you know, core Space Marine-wise, they're missing a tremendous amount. Screw it. Come on, Queenie, do something this game. And we'll skip. Right. You still can't do anything. Excellent. So what we'll do is... You can't do anything, you can't do anything. Okay, maybe we should have moved on these guys instead. Damn. His shield obviously protected him, so we will heal him. Now he's going to run over and laser beam him to death. So the heal was pointless. Should have seen that coming, I suppose. Oh no, he's just going to sit there. Excellent. So what we shall do is... Hopefully you can shoot past the Devastator. Hopefully. Increasing damage until he moves, so we'll do that on him. And then we'll shoot him. So we should deal slightly more damage with our pea shooter. Chain gun pea shooter. You can't hit him. You can. You miss, you die. Of course it's... Even if he had hit him, it would have done nothing anyway. Oh, this means he can murder him. Oh no. Unless he... Yeah! See, it's great when the enemy misses. Especially when they have a def gun. Can I kill him with anyone else? Anyone else? No. Seems like my Assault Marine is just going to be the guy that carries the game. Which is unusual, really, because every other campaign mode I've played, the Assault Marines have been relatively useless. They're very good at capturing squares, but when it comes to taking damage and dealing damage, they are the worst, most pathetic, most pointless things ever. Which is, yeah, a bit annoying. Anyway, yeah, I've gained a level, got to level 3, which means I should get points to unlock a new ability. And yeah, I got the secondary objective. I capture and kill... Oh yeah, I captured all of the looters. I had no idea it was the looters. Should have beared that in mind. So we go to the armory ability selection. Do we have enough points? No, we don't. That's annoying. Obviously, with the skirmish, you can play against whatever you can. There are a couple of different types of matches, which I can show you. So there are 3 game types: Regicide, Classic, and Librarian. Regicide is obviously murder the king or queen. Classic, I assume, is simply a case of destroy everything. Librarian... Oh, sorry, Librarian isn't game mode at all. Librarian is where it tells you everything about the game. That's actually pretty cool. I approve of this bizarre in-game link. Yeah. That's a lot of text. Kind of reminds me of the old Warhammer codexes for the tabletop game, of which there are many pages. So yeah, that's Regicide. It'll be coming out on early access on the 26th, and the core gameplay is there. It's just, you know, they're missing out on some punch. That's what I feel this game needs. Is a lot more punch. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this video. Obviously the rest of the review will be in the link below, and come back next week on Thursday for our next review.